streaming online at WDKN.com.
I love listening to it over and over. I love it.
This is 101.5 The One and WDKN, Dixon's Country Music Home.
Where can you get information on the latest news and events in Dickson County? Right here on Know Your County on WDKN 1260 AM and 101.5 The One FM. Know Your County keeps you informed about events that matter to you. Now, here is your host for today's Know Your County.
Good morning and welcome to Know Your County here on WDKN. It is Saturday, March the 12th, and we're live here in the studio. The ice and snow couldn't stop us from being here. We've got Mr. Luke Frost in the studio with us to talk a little bit about Luke's Burgers, which is the latest local restaurant that we have coming here to Dickson. Luke, how you doing this morning?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you coming in. So we've got Luke, and we've also got his wife, Misty, here. And we got you in here to the studio. We want to talk, about this new restaurant. Everybody's talking about it. It's the buzz around town. I think out of all the different guests and different businesses that we featured here on Saturday morning, I think this one is really got the people excited. And so I'm excited to ask you a few questions about it. But before we get in to the restaurant, I just want to talk to you a little bit about you and let the people who are listening know a little bit about you. So just tell us a little bit about your background and where you're from.
Well, I grew up in Georgia, which is kind of what, I was a big Bulldog fan. That's where the Bulldog logo kind of come from. Coming out of high school, I got a scholarship to MTSU to play football. Had a really great time. Really loved Tennessee. Ended up staying. I had a family here, so just stuck around, and it's been great.
So grew up in Georgia, which explains why you're wearing an Atlanta Braves hat and a Georgia Bulldogs shirt right now. So you're a big Georgia sports fan. So grew up there, and then you got to Tennessee through MTSU. Tell me a little bit about your days there playing football.
Well, I come from a family that didn't have much money. It was if I was going to go to college, it's going to be through sports or something like that. And so I worked real hard in high school. All the kids were partying, but I was at the weight room working out and getting ready for football. And I played 3 sports, but football was my main focus, and it was my route to college. While I was at MTSU, I played tight end. Had a really great career there. Built all kind of long-lasting relationships. And it was just it was such a positive time during my life. I was going to plan it on playing further, and then I blew my knee out my senior year, so it was time to go to work after that.
So you're in Murfreesboro. Football has kind of come to an end due to an injury, and explain to me how you get from Murfreesboro over here to Dickson County.
Well, actually, I can blame Lowe's for that. I went to work. I had 1 semester left of school, and went to work at Lowe's. I was working 3rd shift, actually, for a measly $8 an hour. But through Lowe's, I moved up through the ranks, department manager, assistant manager, ended up as an assistant manager here in Dickson at the Lowe's store, and eventually took on a store manager role in Starkville, Mississippi. But I had family here, so essentially it was going to bring me back here. And in order to get back home, and not to be driving back and forth so much, which I did that for 4 years. I look back on it now, I wonder how I did that. But in order to get back, I wanted to set up some type of income to bring me back home, because it was a good paycheck there, obviously, and that's what drove me down there. And that's what Lowe's does to keep you there. So, the location where Bulldogs is at now was up for sale, and we jumped on the option. So, and that's that. We're coming up on our 5-year anniversary now, so it's been very successful.
So, and that's how a lot of people may know you from around here, is that you started Bulldogs, which you obviously have named after the Georgia Bulldogs, with that sort of connection there. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about how you started that and how that kind of led into Luke's Burgers. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be right back. We're here this morning with Luke and Misty Frost, the new owners of Luke's Burgers, which is going to take the old Tony B spot over in the old plaza. And a lot of people, I know I'm really excited. We can't wait for that. We're going to talk a little bit more to him right after we get back from the break here on Know Your County on WDKN.
Business internet is a must. Paying bills, sending emails, updating your website, running social media campaigns, even your phone and credit card machine need reliable internet. But your options are limited, and every provider has its drawbacks. That's why RFC Broadband for Business is here. A truly local business offering wireless high-speed internet options for your business. Affordable prices, no wires, no contracts, no data caps. RFC Broadband for Business, 615-375-8662 or rfcbroadband.com. Simple billing, rural coverage, and again, no contracts or data caps. It's all designed with you in mind. See the difference a local company makes. RFC Broadband for Business, 615-375-8662 or rfcbroadband.com. Currently not available in all areas. Call for availability.
In times of joy, in moments of grief, broadcasters come through, even when all else fails. Today, with more ways than ever to experience the moments that transform our lives, Americans still choose broadcast radio and television more than all other media combined. We are the local broadcasters of radio and television, reaching more people, touching more lives. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Good. We're back here on the Know Your County program, and we're just talking about some maybe some future programs that projects there. If you kind of overheard what we were talking about during the break, maybe we'll get some more things going in the future. But we're here with Luke Frost, who is the owner of Bulldogs, and also the owner of Luke's Burgers. And I want to talk to you kind of how you started Bulldogs and then kind of how that led to Luke's Burgers. So right before the break, you sort of told us that the building went up for sale, business was there already, and you just kind of stepped in. Kind of take us through that process of how you sort of took it over and kind of changed it a little bit.
Well, my passion has always been around some type of sports bar, sports restaurant. I'm a huge sports fan. And, Bulldogs wasn't necessarily exactly what we were looking for. But again, after 4 years of being on the road, I wanted to get home. So it was a great opportunity to get started. And I thought, we could use that location to create some types of a sports bar. And of course, being the building that it is, you'd be crazy not to use it for live entertainment. So it just kind of grew from there. We got some really top-notch bands and artists in there. Ali Colleen, Carly Rogers, of course, Larry Fleet played there several times. Three Doors Down, Dares Run, a lot of big names, and just kind of grew from there. It really started enjoying the process. And food was my passion. And the goal when we opened that business was to give back to the community, which we have been very successful at doing, and try to leverage and neutralize that bar name as a company that could be good for the community, and at the same time grow our food business. I feel really passionate about our burgers, and it just kind of grew from there. So we have pumped a lot of good food out of a tiny kitchen there, and I even tried to open a couple times during lunch to provide that food for more people during lunch. But that location is it's kind of like Varsity Blues when they walk out of the nightclub and the sun hits them. It's like, oh my gosh, that building's the same way. It's kind of dark. So nobody really was attracted to go into that location for lunch. So it wasn't very successful for lunch. It's a late night entertainment venue. And me and Misty both have been looking for a place to open a restaurant for over a year now. We looked at the old Ponderosa building. We looked at a couple places downtown, and nothing really fit. Either the equipment wasn't any good, the building wasn't good, they wanted too much money. So, unfortunately, when this situation happened with Tony B's, we were very caution. We before we approached the situation, but when the time was right, we approached Tony's sister to discuss the location and see if they needed some help with the location and everything that happened. And with our reputation for food and especially burgers, it was almost like God was calling us, like, here's your opportunity. The perfect location is open for you. Go after it if this is what you want. So And Tony's sister Sheila's been so awesome to work with. She's been very awesome.
And you mentioned good reputation for burgers, which you do have. And I don't know if a lot of people realize, and I myself didn't realize, the quality of food that you guys were pushing out of Bulldogs until the pandemic hit. Pandemic hits, everything's to-go food, right? And that was a struggle, I'm sure, for you. But that's sort of how I discovered that you had burgers. I think we'd saw it on Facebook or something, some way it was advertised. We decided to go by and grab a couple burgers. They were delicious. I mean, it was really good, and it was the first time that I'd realized that you guys were doing food, and it sort of introduced me to that. And I know that you kind of built that reputation, so when I heard that you were going to move into the Tony B's building, I thought it was kind of a perfect thing because you already have a quality burger that you're producing. That was a burger restaurant. And for those that don't know, Tony B's was a successful burger restaurant that was here for a really long time. I'm not sure exactly how long, probably 15 to 20 years. For the better part of the last 20 years has been over there. And people were really sad when Mr. Tony B passed away. And so the fact that you're bringing that location, sort of bringing that back, I think has got a lot of people excited.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was a huge turning point for our business. Even though we were shut down, it was a very tough time for the business. Being able to do that to-go food was a good opportunity to keep our employees working, keeping them getting paid. But it also was a good opportunity for the community to connect with us and our food. We were only open from 4 to 8, and we were pumping a ton of food out of there because all the restaurants were shut down. There's 30 to 40,000 meals per week are consumed by Dickson residents, and so we were able to provide part of that by doing to-go food, and we saw a lot of new faces come through there, and there was a lot of great support. There was businesses that wrote us checks that just to keep us rolling, and that was really awesome because being able to do that kept us alive and kept us open in order to make it through that trying time. So, and like you said, it's the perfect opportunity to open another burger joint in that location. And all the feedback we've gotten, the support we've gotten, people posting on social media has been really tremendous. And we're looking forward to getting open and serving the community.
People are excited. I know I made a post on social media a few days ago letting the people know, and some people have been asking me some questions. One of the big ones was, ask Luke, what's going to be the big difference between, what Tony B was doing? I'm sure that you frequented his restaurant. I know as somebody who supports local, I'm sure that you went in there and you ate there and you knew about his restaurant, and so you're aware of what he had going. And then what you're trying to do. Can you tell us maybe what some of the differences are? Maybe some of the things that'll be the same for those that are interested.
Well, and I did support him. I support all local businesses. Try to stay away from the chains. Just being a small business owner myself, I know the challenges of running a small business, and it takes the entire community supporting that business in order for it to be successful. So, and he had a great burger. He did, and when I wanted it, obviously that's my passion. I want a good cheeseburger. I'd go over there and get one. As far as differences, without exposing too many nice little surprises we have, we're gonna offer a lot more than what he did as far as the type of burgers. And I'll just go ahead and let you know we're going to offer what's called a wild game trio. That's very surprising that we were able to connect with vendors on this, but it's going to include a trio of bison, venison, and elk. So very excited about that. We're also going to offer some other type of burgers that are that we've already tried out at Bulldogs with some customers, and they're very excited about too. So we've fired up the grill with that, and really surprising, that. And then some of the other foods that we're going to offer is going to be a little different, a more expanded menu, to try and meet all the needs of our customers. So. And then, there's some other things that we want you to see once you walk into the building that we've changed to. So,
and I know that you're not open yet, so not everything's finalized. But I do know that you're. We talked a little bit before the show about you guys are going to try to use some local vendors, maybe through your restaurant? Try to keep things local. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yes. So this is Misty's passion. So I got to give her credit on this. She wants to connect with local farmers for all of our produce, the lettuce and tomatoes and things like that, because we take a lot of pride in our salads too. The salads that she makes me at home are the best I've ever had. So I'm excited to bring that to the restaurant as well, so everybody else can see. But we're definitely going to utilize local vendors. Yes.
So, have you finalized the menu yet? Can you tell us? I know you've already given us a few hints, but you got burgers, you got that specialty stuff. Kind of what is the scope here of when you think of Tony B's, strictly pretty much burgers, maybe a few other things. Are you going to open up the menu to anything else? We got salads.
Oh yeah. So we're going to have a build your own menu where you can have several options, from your buns to your protein to your toppings, your spices, the type of fries that you want. We're going to also offer things like pizzas, wings. We've got some great chicken sandwiches, salads, things like that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty expanded menu. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen a few of the pictures that you've posted. So I've seen a painting on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us any more hints at what the vibe is going to be like when you get in there? What are you kind of shooting for with the atmosphere?
Well, kind of like I said earlier, I'm a huge sports fan. So, it's going to be centered around a sports theme, but it's also going to be a family restaurant. The menu, and you'll see a lot of the burgers and stuff have some of the family names, named them after our family. The kids, we have 5 kids, so we've named some of the burgers after our kids as well. The mural that was painted on there was done by my tattoo artist, Jacob Jones, and he is a phenomenal artist. It's really about the brand, which is painted on that wall. When you walk in that building, that bulldog's staring at you. All right. And it's a beautiful thing to see. So, really just trying to get the brand out there. Put things on the walls, as far as decorations, sports and things like that are really interesting for people to read and see. And just keeps you interested in the actual location. We're going to try and build a family atmosphere from our employees, to our customers. We just want you to come in there and feel like you're part of the team, part of the family, enjoy yourself, have a nice, relaxing time, get a burger, a beer, and enjoy lunch, dinner, whatever. We're going to be open Monday through Saturday, lunch and dinner. So
let's talk about that brand real quick before we go to our last break here and enter the last segment. Your brand. So when you started Bulldogs, obviously you didn't have a name yet, and so you're sitting there thinking, and I'm sure it's probably hard, to think of, what am I going to call this thing? That's what everybody's going to know it as. It's really important in a name. And so tell me a little bit about how you got Bulldogs, how you kind of settled on that, and then the new restaurant, how you decided on that name as well.
So when we were trying to determine a name for the bar, of course, there was some hesitation there for me. We're in Tennessee country, big time ball fans. How are you going to open up a bar named Bulldogs in volunteer country? Well, you have to go back to what you believe in and what you're passionate about. And obviously, I'm a huge Bulldog fan. I had family that played at the University of Georgia. I grew up there as a fan. So if you're passionate about it, then just go for it, and just set your goals and go for it if you're passionate about it. So the Bulldog actually, the design was actually done by a local artist, Dutch, who was a tattoo artist here in town. He actually did the original design for the Bulldogs. And, when we were trying to determine a name for Luke's, we had several names in mind. We had a list of things we were going through. How are we going to name this place? And actually, my wife was the one who encouraged me, because Luke's was one of the original names. It's like, let's just be simple, call it Luke's. Everybody knows Luke for his food, so why not go for that? And she actually encouraged me to go with that name, and it just kind of fit. So then when you're talking about a logo, it's like, well, why change the logo up too much? Let's take the beer and the cigar off the Bulldog and put a milkshake and a burger in his hand and keep building from there. And I had several people who were friends of mine who were close to me also that were like, just, keep building that brand. People know that name, they know that logo, keep building that brand. So with the support of many people, my wife and many friends, we went with it.
I think it's great. I really like the way that they go together. And as soon as I saw that, I thought that's great because you've already got a lot of popularity and a lot of publicity and momentum from Bulldogs. Like you said, why change it? Why not make it all part of the same family? So I like the way that you're doing that. Go get a burger during the day and then hit Bulldogs at night. It's the perfect combination there.
Right. And if you take your receipt from Luke's to Bulldogs, we're going to give you a discount. So
Nice. Very cool. Well, we're in the studio this morning with Luke Frost, who is the owner of Bulldogs and also the owner of Luke's Burgers that's about to open. And we've had a great conversation so far this morning. We're going to take our last break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the show right here on Know Your County on WDKN.
Business internet is a must. Paying bills, sending emails, updating your website, running social media campaigns, even your phone and credit card machine need reliable internet. But your options are limited, and every provider has its drawbacks. That's why RFC Broadband for Business is here. A truly local business offering wireless high-speed internet options for your business. Affordable prices, no wires, no contracts, no data caps. RFC Broadband for Business, 615-375-8662 or rfcbroadband.com. Simple billing, rural coverage, and again, no contracts or data caps. It's all designed with you in mind. See the difference a local company makes. RFC Broadband for Business, 615-375-8662 or rfcbroadband.com. Currently not available in all areas. Call for availability.
In times of joy, in moments of grief, broadcasters come through, even when all else fails. Today, with more ways than ever to experience the moments that transform our lives, Americans still choose broadcast radio and television more than all other media combined. We are the local broadcasters of radio and television, reaching more people, touching more lives. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And we're back here on Know Your County, here on WDKN, and we're getting a lot of info this morning from Luke and Misty about the new restaurant, and I'm excited. And you guys were just kind of telling me during the break that there's something special coming to Dickson that maybe wasn't offered before, that maybe you would have had to drive all the way to Franklin for. Tell me a little bit about this new addition.
So when we started the remodel inside, we decided to kind of move things towards the front as far as the register goes. With the way things are now, a lot of people do to-go food. So to create a more convenient experience for them to just walk in and out and grab their food to go, we kind of built a bar off the side of the kitchen. And that this bar has turned into a huge project because and I'm very, very excited for everyone to see it, because what we've done with this bar is we've kind of incorporated the American flag, Constitution, the Second Amendment, and all the service branch patches, the local police and sheriff's department patches. And we just completed the epoxy last night to epoxy the entire bar, and it looks phenomenal. I'm telling you, you're going to want to come check out this bar. And in addition to that, we have a system for draft beer that we're going to be able to offer 29-degree beer. It's going to be the coldest beer in town. You might be familiar with it if you've ever been to Twin Peaks or someplace like that, but we're very excited to offer this. I think this is an awesome addition to what the previous location did. I think that a lot of people can appreciate wanting to come in and have a beer with their burger. So we're excited to offer that as well.
Well, and I'm excited. I'll be honest with you. I'm sitting here thinking, man, I wish I could go there tonight. Unfortunately, it's not open yet, and I know you guys are working really hard around the clock, and there's always these little things that are going to pop up and little hiccups. And do you know when you might be open yet? Do you have a date in mind, or do you have an idea of when we can go enjoy this place that you're bringing to us, that you're building?
So if you would have asked me yesterday, I would have told you next week. Unfortunately, when you're trying to open a business like this, there's a lot of things that pop up that cause setbacks. And not that it's a bad thing. I actually spoke to someone the other day who said, we see you here working day and night. I've been in and out of there for, 2.5 months now. And she's like, we really love that you're putting so much time into this thing. And I really think it's important that we put the right amount of time and effort into it to make it just perfect for when we do open. We're still going to have the hiccups when we open. You're going to have to be patient with us. We're going to have to figure out a flow in the kitchen. We got a new system that we're going to have to work through all the kinks. But next week was our official open date. And I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen. We'll have to see how well some things go Monday first. But I think the next week is spring break week. You can expect us to be open that week for sure.
Cool. Well, I think people are going to be excited about that. So I know you're working hard, and we all appreciate you bringing us a restaurant. I know whenever they put the polls out there to ask people, what business do you want to come to town? I'd say probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are always restaurants. Mm-hmm. It's people want another option. I saw that a lot on the. We're just so excited for another option of somewhere to eat, and so I really appreciate what you're doing, and I know the community does as well. And we're really looking forward to this. So whether it's this week, next week, or 2 or 3 weeks from now, I know that when it does happen, it's going to be an exciting time. And based on all the information that you told us here this morning, I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before we get off here? Anything you want to close us out with in regards to Luke's Burgers and the opening coming up here?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the community for supporting me and Misty. I've got an amazing partner in her, and her supporting me in all of my ventures. But, both of our passion for success and for food is going to be an amazing thing with this restaurant. And we're excited to offer it. Just be patient with us. We know y'all are ready. We want it to be great when we open it. And we want to provide you the best service and the best food in town, seriously. Follow us on Facebook. We got a Facebook page and an Instagram page, Luke's Burgers. We will continue to update on those pages. We know that social media is the number one way to advertise these days, so we want to make sure to keep giving you guys content, and we will continue to do so, especially this coming week. We've got some great things we're going to be posting on there.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're firing up the kitchen today, actually, with some of the cooks we have hired. And we're going to start putting some things together, and we'll post pictures. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come down here. I really appreciate it. I know that the people have been wanting to hear some information about the restaurant, so I really appreciate you getting up, coming down here in the snow, nonetheless, and coming in here and giving us some information. So thank you to you. Thank you to your wife, Misty, and congratulations, by the way. I wanted to mention this before the show was over. Congratulations on recent wedding. Yes. Congratulations on that. And again, thanks for coming into the studio this morning. And make sure you follow the social media accounts and be looking for it, because Bulldogs will be open in the next couple of days, couple of weeks here. So everybody stay tuned. Again, thanks for coming in. And we'll be back next week with another guest here on Know Your County at 8 o'clock. And we'll also be back on the air next week at 7 o'clock with another edition of the Old Timers program. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a good weekend, Dickson County. You've been listening to Know Your County on WDKN.
Thank you for joining us for Know Your County on WDKN 1260 AM and 101.5 The 1 FM. Tune in each Saturday at 8 a.m. for more interviews and information on what's going on in Dickson County. If you're interested in being a guest on Know Your County, email us at news@wdkn.com. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to joining you again next week on Know Your County.
This